presented by Exquisite Timepieces. More about them in the description down below and later in the video. The Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra is one of my all-time favorite watches. I'm a huge fan of simple, casual, time-only, or time-and-date watches that do their thing and that do it well. I call them the everyday watch. No extra complications, no timing bezels, just a watch that has everything you need and nothing you don't. Not too long ago, I did a video on the 38mm version of the Aqua Terra, and I called it one of the best everyday watches you can buy. It's a go-anywhere, do-anything sports watch that's also capable of dressing up a bit and serving double duty in a professional or even perhaps a more formal environment. There are only a handful of watches that I can think of with a similar level of versatility, and only a few of those offer the same levels of quality and value as the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra. Well, today we're looking at the latest version of the Aqua Terra, the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra Small Seconds. It's a watch in a new range of models that offers up a few new color and strap options, but more importantly, a new dial design, featuring a small seconds subdial, which is a departure from the more typical central seconds hand. This example is the 41mm blue dial variation, riding on a contrast-stitched blue rubber strap. Now, being a Seamaster, it offers a screw-down crown and 150 meters of water resistance, and it has a domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. The sun-brushed blue-gray dial has the signature horizontal teak pattern that the Aqua Terra is known for, with a date window and a small seconds subdial at the 6-hour side of the watch face. The small seconds dial's outer ring and the Seamaster handset are rhodium-plated, and the applied hour indexes are filled with a white superluminova. Outboard of the dial, we have a graduated seconds track chapter ring matching the opaline small seconds subdial. Now, the watch case is a typical Seamaster Aqua Terra case design. It's constructed in 316L stainless steel, and it features the similar twisted lug lyre profile that we're used to. And it's a handsome design with excellent finishing, including satin brushed and polished surfaces. The case back features a sapphire crystal display window, giving you a nice view of the Omega coaxial master chronometer caliber 8916. This is, of course, a MEDAS certified movement, offering up some of the best possible specifications, both in terms of accuracy and reliability, as well as magnetic resistance. And it's also very nicely decorated as well. Next, we have an outstanding rubber strap. It's matching that blue-gray coloration of the dial, and it has a lighter contrast stitching going down the edge of the strap. And it also has a classic basket weave pattern running down the center, which I personally like quite a bit. The clasp is an Omega-signed dual-trigger deployant clasp, and it's of excellent quality as well. Now, on the wrist, this watch wears quite well. It's a 41mm cased watch, and it doesn't wear quite as large as I would have expected the size to suggest, probably because of the way that the rubber strap integrates into the lugs. It is, however, still a bit larger than I might prefer for my 6.5-inch wrist, but fortunately, Omega does offer similar Aqua Terra models in 38mm, which tends to be my preferred size. Still, this one wears pretty well for me, and if you're someone who likes either a larger wrist presence or has a larger wrist in general, this will probably be perfect for you. Now, I do have a couple of small complaints with this watch, but none of them are actually deal breakers. That said, no watch is perfect, so I'm going to touch on those issues here. But first, a quick word about my video sponsor. This video is presented in partnership with Exquisite Timepieces, located in Naples, Florida. Exquisite is an authorized dealer of dozens of watch brands, including Seiko and Grand Seiko, Omega, Oris, Blancpain, Breguet, and many more. Exquisite also has an amazing selection of pre-owned watches with new inventory coming in daily. So if you're looking for your next watch, check their website, exquisitetimepieces.com, or call their store at 239-227-2932, and let them know that you heard about them from Guy in the Just Bluefish channel. I can't recommend them enough. So the first thing I have to mention is the crown. Look, it's not the easiest crown to work with. Screwing it down, and by extension, unscrewing it, is mildly annoying. The texture isn't very sharp, so getting a good grip is a little bit of a challenge, and the threading is honestly rather tight. It does feel high quality. It's not an issue of feeling cheap or anything, but it could be a bit easier to work with. Now, I suppose the upside is that there's absolutely no chance that you will accidentally unscrew this crown if it's underwater, so I guess that's a plus. But on those occasions where you need to hand wind the watch to get it running, the experience isn't as good as other watches on the market. Another complaint that I have isn't necessarily about this watch specifically, but about the range of watches as a whole. Take this watch for example. I love the blue grade dial, but let's say I want this watch on a bracelet, or perhaps I want this dial in the 38mm size. Well, tough luck. Neither option is available. There's also no black dial version in either size whatsoever, and the style and the design of the small seconds subdial is actually a little bit different on the smaller 38mm option, and I don't prefer the way that the subdial looks on those smaller watches. So while there are quite a few different versions across the entire range, there's very little consistency and there's no option to get certain configurations, like I already mentioned. Finally, there's the price, and this model specifically comes in at $6,050, with similar models on a bracelet priced at $6,300. Now that's as much as $500 more than the standard Aqua Terra, which granted isn't a huge markup, but it might be hard to justify the extra cost when the standard model is already so nice in its own right. I myself, if I were buying a new Aqua Terra today, I'd probably save the money and get the standard model with central seconds hand. And it's not because I don't like this one, it's just that the standard Aqua Terra is already extremely excellent, and while the small seconds is a cool new feature, it doesn't really offer me enough to justify that extra expense. But like I said, it is a pretty small expense over the regular version, and if you love the small seconds design, it's most likely not going to be an issue to spend that extra money on this. And I wouldn't blame you, like I said, I do think it looks great. Now, all that said, I guess I'll close this one out with this final thought. I still think the Aqua Terra is one of the best go everywhere, do anything everyday watches, and it's still one of my favorites. This small seconds version is a nice addition to the range of watches in the collection, and I think Omega did a really nice job with it. This blue grade dialed version on rubber strap is probably my favorite model in the collection, and it's one that I'd highly recommend checking out for yourself if you're shopping for a casual everyday watch. Well, thanks for tuning in and joining me and checking out this one today, guys. I really appreciate it. And until the next time, take care and bye now.